Okay, initial order pickup is going to take place next week, February 12 to 17. You already placed your initial order into eBuddy. Another thing to know, I think I mentioned this in another webinar, but if you put in increments of 12, you don't have to worry about this, but pretty much eBuddy automatically rounds your total of each type of cookie to increments of 12 to make full cases. Because at the initial order site, you're not going to be picking up boxes, you're only going to be picking up full cases. So whatever order you put into eBuddy, you are going to be responsible for. There are no returns on initial order cookies. Okay. So there are going to be site workers at the, I don't know why this slide moved. Okay. So there are going to be site workers at the site as well as GSSEM staff to help you load your vehicle and count the cookies that are on your order. However, it's very important that the person that is picking up counts very carefully. They're going to be responsible for everything they sign for, so it's very important that they take the time to count every cookies that is being loaded into their car. Now, what you need when you go to the delivery site is a copy of your initial order, which is printed from eBuddy. However, if you don't have your initial order, like a copy of that ticket, we're going to have it at the site, but sometimes it's good to have more than one. So if you want to bring a copy, that's more than fine. So you also need an empty vehicle large enough for your order. eBuddy does have a recommendation guide for what kind of vehicle you have based on your order, and there's also one on our GSSEM site, so definitely take a look at that guide. And if you have parents that are more than willing to help, bring them along. It's always better to have more space than less, and it's not like we're limiting to one car per troop, so definitely bring help if needed. Another thing to note about deliveries is we never cancel them. So considering snow, cold, whatsoever, we're not going to cancel them. So make sure that you attend if you can. Even if you contact us, we're going to tell you we're still planning on them. So definitely make it out there if you can. Okay, so some of the tips: count before you sign. I can't stress this enough. Count before you sign. Once you sign off, you're responsible for every case. And a case of a core cookies is costing $48. Now, specialty cookies is going to be more because it's going to be $5.50 per box. But a case of a Samoa's type is going to be $48. That's a lot of money that your troop can lose out on if you're shorted a case. Now, let's say you get home and you notice you're short a couple cases or have extra cases. Email productsales@gssem.org as soon as possible. We ask that you email us the day of your pickup so we could do inventory on the truck and check to see what's left over. Because pretty much what's going to be on the truck is what orders it's going to be the total orders of troops that are picking up that day. So if they have extras, they know that they're short at some people. However, they do have some extras for damage cases. Like if you have a damage case and you want to swap it out, they can do that for you. But they know how much extras are on the truck. And another thing to know about pickups is once you drive away, you cannot come back and return your cookies if you notice that they're damaged at that point. They're not going to do any returns. If you come back to the site, they're not doing any returns. So make sure you look over your cookies while you're there. And if you come back to the site because you feel that you're shorted, they're not going to be able to give you any cookies as well. Once you sign off, you're going to be responsible for those cases. They're just going to redirect you to email productsales@gssem.org. Now, if something comes up and you can't make up your pickup, there's two makeup dates. That's February 21st and February 22nd at Preferred Moving in Harrison Township. So if you can't make your pickups, it's not going to be possible that you could go to another site. You're just going to have to wait until the 21st or 22nd and pick up at Preferred Moving. Now on pickup day, you won't be picking up your rewards. Obviously, those are going to be mailed in May. It's not going to be like the fall sale, but you will be picking up a booth kit. So make sure you ask for the booth kit if they're not handing it to you when you get to that initial order site. The booth kit is going to just have a lot of material for your booths and a lot of things that people are requesting at this point, like troop to troops cards, thank you cards, your Yum information. There's a lot of information in that booth kit, so definitely ask for it when you get to a site. Okay. Okay. So if you're unsure about where your site is, if you made a selection and you kind of forgot where it is, It's still listed in eBuddy, so definitely check out the delivery tab in eBuddy if you're unsure about your delivery. Also, if you're one of the troops that did not select a time, check with product sales on when you should go. We probably recommend that you arrive a couple minutes before the first time or a couple minutes after, because the thing with cookies pickup is everybody should follow their appointment time. Cookie pickups are a lot busier than fall pickups, so everybody has to make sure that they follow their time. If you have an 8 a.m. time, it's not a good idea that you come 12 p.m. because you're going to see a line of cars there at their appointment times. So it's very important that you follow your appointment time. It's very different than fall sale. Okay. Okay. I'm going to open this up pretty much for questions. I know this presentation is pretty short, but I'm going to try to give you my advice for the pickups as well as keep it open for you guys if you have any questions. If you're new or if you're older and, you know, troop pickup, definitely ask your questions. I'm here to answer them as well as give some advice on pickups. One of the things I could advise is if you're in your car and you think that's a good idea to count cookies, it's not. Get out of your car, count those cookies. I know it's cold, but it's very important. I can't stress it enough to count your cookies. I have horror stories of troops being shorted 30 cases because they didn't get out of their car and realized they drove off without their tag-alongs. And sometimes there's nothing we could do, but you definitely have to check and count those cookies before they're loaded. Okay, I see some questions are coming in as I'm speaking. How many cards do we get in the packet? If we need more, where do we get more? Okay. Christina, and what cards are you talking about? Are you talking about your cookie packet or booth kit? What if I already have some more orders? If you have more orders that weren't included in your initial order, you could place a cupboard order and pick them up at a cupboard. And I'm going to go over cupboard orders in my next webinar, Go Getter Time. I'll go over how to place cupboard orders. Where's the info regarding what kind of vehicles we need? That was included in your cookie packet. It's also on our GSSEM site. If you can't find it on our GSSEM site, you could definitely email product sales and we'll email you a form. Another thing to note is not only is on our GSSEM site, but if you go to our cookie page, if you go to the product programs page and then cookie sellers resources, you'll find that vehicle guide on that page where you could also find the webinars. So in the booth kit, I think okay, so Christina, you're talking about the booth kit. Now, are you talking about the Troops to Troops cards? I think it was like, there was like 8 cards in a form. And you can always make copies so you could hand them out to customers. I mean, if you arrive late to a site, they're still going to provide you with the cookies. Excuse me, with the cookies. The only thing is, if there's like troops there at their appointment time, they're going to follow that schedule. They're going to help the people that are there at their appointment time. And then once they get to a slow period, they'll definitely help you out. But just make sure you're there during the slotted time. Like, let's say you're going to Troy, and let's say their time is 8 to 12. If you arrive at 1, you're most likely not going to find the truck. But if you arrive in the 8 to 12 p.m. time of the site, you're going to get help. In the booth kit, you're going to get the allergen guide, a booth tally sheet, an information guide on like why you should do booths, and like it kind of gives also a recommendation on what kind of how many cookies you should order per booth, and during what time of the sale, because early in the sale you're probably going to sell more cookies than later in the sale. There's thank you cards, there's troop to troop cards. You could like cut out things and hand them to customers as they're donating cookies. There's your yum info, just a bunch of info on booths. So definitely ask for that kit if you don't receive one. Okay, so the thing with Fiverr 52 is this year, the name has changed to the Year of Yum. If people aren't aware of what the Year of Yum is, pretty much if a customer buys 5 or more boxes at a booth, they will, you could give your customer that card, they go to the site, fill out their information, and then I think it's in April, our Marcom team will randomly select a winner. That winner will receive 52 boxes of cookies. That's a box of cookies every week for a year. So it's a pretty cool contest, and it's a way to up your cookie orders at booths. Like if a customer's buying 4 boxes of cookies, you could get them to buy 5 if you mention this contest. Do we need the troop number in every car dashboard that comes with us? It's a good idea. That's actually a good point to have your troop number in the dashboard, because then the workers at the site will see you coming. Like if you're next in line, we don't have to come up to your car and ask you for your troop number. We could just see it in the dashboard, and then we could start pulling out your ticket, preparing your order as you're driving up. Now, if you have more than one car, it's really not that big a deal as long as the car is behind you. They don't need the number, but you could always have that number there as well. Sorry for the slow period. I'm just looking at the questions, make sure I hit every question that you guys may have. But definitely let me know. Okay, so another thing actually I wanted to know, I'm looking over my notes. Okay, so if you get to the site and you want to add cookies to your order, that's not going to be possible because I kind of already mentioned this, but the cookies on the truck are accounted for. They're pretty much going to match all the troops that are coming to pick up. So if you want to add cookies, you're not really going to be able to. You're just going to have to place a covered order. The Year of Yum cards are going to be in the booth kits. They're not going to be on the site. We could get them on the site. I could work on getting them on the site, but they're not on the site. They're going to be in the booth kits. Okay. I want to stress another thing for you guys. Make sure you count your cookies once you get home. Don't wait till the next day. Don't wait a couple days later. If you're shorted, it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be very unlikely that we're going to provide you the cookies, just because we've already done inventory and the movers are going to move on to the next site. Just make sure you're counting your cookies when you get home and you're 100% certain that you have all the cookies that you ordered. And then if you realize there's a discrepancy, please email productsales@gssem.org as soon as possible. This is the best way we can help you if you email us as soon as possible. Bootcamp information, pretty much we try to get most of those forms online, but if you're missing if you feel like you need extra of a form, you could always make copies. Or we could email you a PDF version. Definitely email us. I mean, a customer should only be getting one. It's pretty much 5 or more. But if they're buying from more than one booth, I'm pretty sure you could give them more than one card. If the cookie cupboard asks that you text to set up an appointment, I mean, if they don't, I don't believe any of the cupboard managers requested when you can text them. But I would use your discretion on when you text them. I wouldn't text them like at 1 a.m. or 5 a.m. in the morning. I would kind of use your discretion for that. Give some time for them to respond. When will booth info come in? Pretty much the booth kit is going to be included when you pick up your initial order cookies. If that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure. If you're starting a new troop after the initial order pickup, like if you weren't able to put in your initial order on time, this is a good question. You still have time to sell. I mean, you have until April to sell cookies. You'll just have to pick up your cookies at a cookie cupboard. If you're not in eBuddy already, you probably need to ensure that both of the required forms are turned in. That's the ACH form and the agreement to assume debt form. Once you have those forms turned in, you can email productsales@gssem.org. We could get you into eBuddy, and then you'll have to just place a cupboard order. My next webinar, I'll go over how to place cupboard orders, so definitely check out that webinar. Booth kits are going to be picked up with your initial order. Not sure what else you're asking in regards to that. When does cookie cupboard start? GSSEM Service Center cupboards open on February 19th, most of them, not all of them. And then volunteer cupboards, I would say a good portion of them open on February 16th. Check out the cupboard schedule in eBuddy if you don't have access into eBuddy or if you don't know where to look in eBuddy. Email productsales@gssem.org and we'll email you the cupboard schedule. Can you get a cookie booth as a new troop? Definitely. Once you're in eBuddy, check out the booth site tab, see what's available, and make your selection. You could definitely select booths as a new troop. We still have some open, and we are putting up booths as we receive their booth forms from stores and stuff. So I would keep checking eBuddy for new stores. Some stores are kind of slow in getting back to us, so we're not done uploading them into eBuddy. I mean, we're not uploading as much as we did in the beginning, but we're still uploading booths into eBuddy. And to be fair, we make them live at 7 p.m. So if we have 7 booths, they will be able to get picked up with the cookies. Can you clarify what you mean by that? Yeah, please clarify what you mean by that. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you mean by that. Does the amount we owe for the rounded up boxes get listed in eBuddy? I don't see it. Yes. If you look at your delivery site tab and you see how many cases you're picking up and you do the math and then you checked out the sales report tab, you'll see what you owe to councils. It's pretty much included. Your extras are included. You just have to do a little bit of math. You're only getting one booth kit. You don't need more than one for every booth. Like, really, it's pretty much just information and some cards, and it doesn't mean that you're going to use them all for every booth you have. The dollar amount, you are going to be, like, whatever those extras equal in dollar amount, you are responsible for. No problem. I'm here to help out all the new people, as well as the oldies. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to stay behind for a couple minutes to help everybody if a new question comes into mind. But if you feel like you missed something in the webinar, definitely check out the recording. It's going to be on the cookie page on our site within the next couple days. So I'm going to stop the recording right now.